South Tampa is a highly sought after area and for a lot of reasons. Its stunning waterfronts, its rich history, and its vibrant dining scene and pretty cool nightlife. Also, it's got a really close-knit community, which I think is what draws a lot of people to this area. Situated on the stunning Gulf Coast, South Tampa has a unique blend of history and culture and natural beauty. South Tampa also tends to be a little bit more trendy than some of the other areas of Tampa, and that sort of appeals to other people when they are looking for a different type of neighborhood that they want to move to. Having all of that cool history, waterfront, as well as cool restaurants and nightlife, South Tampa is super popular. So let's find out why. But let's also find out why not. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of moving to South Tampa. So let's get after it right now. South Tampa is the area between Kennedy Boulevard to the north and MacDill Air Force Base, which is at the very bottom of the boot of South Tampa. One of the major draws to South Tampa is its spectacular waterfront views. Because it's that little boot, it's got water on either side, which leads me to pro number one, prime location. The great thing about South Tampa is where it's actually located in the greater metro of Tampa. It's just southeast of the airport. It's also, again, in proximity to the Air Force Base. You can pretty much get to the Gandy Bridge, 275 Bridge, and the Courtney Campbell Causeway in 10 minutes. So it is a very good location for people that are trying to figure out, like, where am I gonna have to commute to? South Tampa also offers this really cool modern urban lifestyle while being close to still all of these outdoor activities that we get to enjoy year round. So if you're looking for a little bit of city life and a little bit of suburban life with a little bit of water life, you can see now why South Tampa is so popular. Also, while having that city feel, again, with the great shopping and the restaurants, and again, all the great schools, which we're going to get to in a minute. Not to mention, you are right near the water. So if you're looking for boater's life, South Tampa, you've got that. We've got marinas everywhere, and I don't know if there are many people over in South Tampa that don't own a boat. All right, pro number two, beautiful neighborhoods. South Tampa is known for its stunning oak tree-lined streets, its rich history, and you can see it in the architecture. And then you're starting to see some of these renovated homes that are throwing in that whole modern flair that kind of give it this eclectic feel. On top of that, you end up in a neighborhood that's very close or in close proximity to areas like Hyde Park or even downtown Tampa or even Channelside and Davis Island. You're really close to where all of the major things are happening in town. All of our concerts, all of our sporting events, and of course you've got the river. And so you're literally 10 to 15 minutes from all of that. And some of our most popular areas, like I mentioned, Hyde Park, Palmacia, and Bayshore Boulevard. If you ever drive that area, you're gonna see the most magnificent homes. And especially if you are a walker, a biker, or a jogger, we've got Bayshore Boulevard that is pretty popular, and people sometimes can even see dolphins during feeding hour. I have a lot of friends that love to run up and down Bayshore. It's a little hot right now, but in the morning you can usually catch people fishing and all this kind of stuff. So you've got that suburban life with a little urban life with a little water life. Hey, by the way, if you're new to my channel, I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Florida, and I live on the central west coast of Florida. So if there's anything that I can help you with real estate wise, I'd really appreciate it if you'd reach out to me. Links are below, and we can start getting a plan together for you. Okay, let's keep going. Pro number three, recreational opportunities. So like I mentioned, having the fact that you're in suburbia with a little bit of urban life and water life, it's going to be rich in activities. So you're going to see a ton of people walking, biking, jogging, and fishing, and kayaking, and stand-up paddling. It's always buzzing in South Tampa. There's always people on the sidewalks. You're going to see the scooters and the rent-a-bikes. Those are very popular as well. And again, it is, I would say, a little bit more of a younger area, but I think that's starting to shift a little bit. So you're gonna see definitely the young families with the kids in the strollers and the kids on the bike, but then you're gonna see some of those, maybe empty nesters like some of my friends, out on their bikes as well. And we have a lot of marathons that run up and down Bayshore Boulevard as well. So there's always things going on in South Tampa. Number 4, culture and entertainment. So I think what's really cool about Tampa in general, and yes, most of this is located in the South Tampa area or downtown area, we've got a ton of museums and theaters and lots of concerts and obviously sporting events like I mentioned. And we have a ton of festivals that come here, Gasparilla Music Fest being my favorite. So you're never gonna lack things to do. We also have a ton of art galleries, and so I love kind of the mix of cultures that we have a lot in South Tampa as well. If you are looking for a place that's, again, rich in culture with some urban feel and, again, that water life, take a look at South Tampa, especially my young professionals. And if you're looking for an alternative to St. Pete, I think South Tampa has it as well, but we're gonna get to cost here in a minute. Pro number 5, education. I have to tell you, I run into this all the time. A lot of clients want to move to South Tampa because of Plant High School. And we have really great public and private schools in South Tampa. Not to mention, we have some amazing colleges. UT being one of them that sits along the Hillsborough River and is stunning, and USF and the like. So we have a ton of education opportunities, but South Tampa has really good school ratings.
Wink.
Okay, you got to take the good with the bad, right? So let's move on to the cons. Con number 1, cost of living. So listen, I love South Tampa, and I know that everybody that I take to South Tampa falls in love with South Tampa, but can you afford South Tampa? Here's the thing. The cost of living in South Tampa is higher than the national average. It's not necessarily the cost of living for the entire Tampa area. South Tampa just happens to be uber expensive.
Oh, man.
The average home price in South Tampa, and I'm talking about above Gandy Boulevard, is in that $800K or up range. $800K or up, and it doesn't matter the size. And you're not gonna have a huge bit of acreage there on your land, okay? So there's not a lot of land. So if you wanna save some money, you can go south of Gandy for $500K or up. That's just the reality. It's been increasing since COVID. So if that's for you, great. There's some wonderful houses. They're building some amazing homes. They are renovating some amazing historic homes. So there's a lot going on, but they're close together. So just keep in mind, anything south of Gandy, you're also gonna be near the Air Force Base. And sometimes, that can get a little loud. And there's also not a lot happening in that south part of the boot of South Tampa near Gandy. It's starting to turn around. They have a really great Publix that's got the restaurant in it now, and things are coming, but you're not in the Plant High School District. You're in the Robinson High School District, and you want to check out the ratings on that before you move down there if you've got high schoolers, okay? Con number 2, traffic congestion. We're in the height of the summer here, so it's really, really bad right now. And of course, when you're coming to South Tampa, and if you've watched more videos like these, you're seeing that South Tampa has a lot of fun things to do. And when I tell people to come visit Tampa, I tell them to go to South Tampa as well. Hyde Park is one of my favorite places to go. We also love to go along the river and take people, in the North Hyde Park area near the river. So you have to keep that in mind. It's a little bit heavier traffic than in normal areas. Commuting as well. If you have to commute, you need to figure out if you can take one of the bridges over, and is that gonna help you or is that gonna hurt you? I have a client who works in Palm Harbor, which is again on the west side of Tampa, and they wanna live in South Tampa. Well, it's sort of like, you wanna get maybe close to the Gandy Bridge or to 275 because that's gonna be the way that you have to commute to work. And you have to consider that because again, South Tampa is this little boot and there's not a lot in and out those bridges, or you're gonna have to go straight up and down Dale Mabry, and that's where the congestion and the bottlenecking happens. And so when it comes to be the peak time of the day, you're gonna sit in traffic. It's one of the only areas besides 275 that you're gonna probably sit in some traffic, so you gotta plan ahead. Con number 3, I was trying to not get ahead of myself, but here we are at it. Limited space, you guys. These homes, they are these huge homes built on these small plots of land. You do not have a lot of space and you're very close to your neighbors here. It's very rare you're gonna find a nice plot of land that's got some space. Those are hard to come by and you're gonna have to pay a pretty penny for that. So if you're looking to put a pool in, there are some homes you're gonna find there is no space to do that in, if they haven't already put a pool in, obviously. So keep that in mind if you want this, if you have this idea of a big yard for the kids or the dogs to play in, and you might eventually want to put a spool, you know what that is? The spa pool. Small. Those are kind of cool. You could probably put some of those in these backyards, but you probably need to, keep that in mind when you're doing your property search, and let your agent or me know, and I can help you with that. And con number 4, and this could be for all of Tampa right now, especially as we're in July, extreme weather. First of all, it is the hottest summer on record for everybody, not just Florida, I believe. So we're all dying. But you have to consider that South Tampa is sitting kind of in the middle of the water there, and it's susceptible to storm surges. So you have to be careful with, tropical storms and hurricanes. Now, I will say, for the record, Tampa has not had or been hit by a major hurricane in 100 years, okay? Doesn't mean we're not gonna have one. I don't know that. Don't have my crystal ball out. But I'm just saying you're going to probably be in a flood zone in South Tampa. There are some areas that aren't flood zone, but of course, the closer you get to the water on either side of the boot there, you're going to be in a flood zone. So keep that in mind. We have had, during Ian and some other hurricanes, we saw the Bayshore, the area of Bayshore, that water receded out to where dry land. It was kind of crazy. So, and then when it comes back in, that's when you have to worry about flooding. So obviously keep that in mind. It's been a hot summer. We might have some tropical weather this year, so plan ahead. That just means be prepared. Be prepared with your hurricane kit and I've talked about this before. Go ahead and get yourself a generator. It doesn't hurt. Con number 5, tourist crowds. Again, piggybacking on what I just said, it is the middle of the summer where everybody's here visiting. And, it used to be that you could decide last minute where you wanted to go to eat or someplace like that, and you wouldn't need a reservation. I'm finding more over than not, I need a reservation anywhere I go now, unless it's sort of open seating. Especially if you have a large group, you definitely are going to want to plan ahead. And obviously those nicer upscale restaurants like Burns and stuff like that, you're going to need a reservation in general because there's sometimes a waiting list. But you're going to have to prepare for the crowds. It's a lot right now. It is our peak season, so you just have to get used to it. But South Tampa being, again, popular, so traffic and, with all the tourists coming, it can be pretty jam-packed down there. So I think that does it for my pros and cons of South Tampa. Ultimately, deciding whether South Tampa is for you is really going to depend on your lifestyle and your budget. And if you'd like to have those conversations, I'm an agent. I'm here to help you, but I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. My links are below. You can jump on my calendar and we can have a 30-minute consultation and start getting your plan ready to go. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up. And don't forget, if you like this content, hitting that subscribe button helps me out a lot. And I really appreciate you coming and watching this video. And until next time, have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.